Yo guys, namaskaram. So today I wanted to talk about a very scary concept for some people, but it's more related on the current trend. So a recession is coming, right? And I just wanted to kind of make a video around this, like what we as common people can do, right? Because recession would be hard for a lot of people. Like a lot of companies have already started laying people off. Some people are not in a position to get a good job. So if you're someone who is just a fresher, or let's say just a person who has started his or her own career, or been in the space for roughly around 5 to 6 years, right, how basically companies works. So just to save their costs, they'll maybe lay off their entire workforces. So nothing to be scared of. We just have to be more proactive in our approach, right? How do we deal with this recession? So what happened? Just let me take you back to some backstories. I think how this came around so quickly, right? So in 2020, when the entire world was on a lockdown, right, the government kind of started printing money like excess, right? Like crazily, they were printing money just to keep the economy running. Now, once there is excess money in the economy, right? So what happens usually is that the demand goes up, but the supply remains the same of goods, right? Because people have a lot of money now to spend on certain things. So this creates a high rise in prices, or inflation as we call it. And I think that is what we are seeing right now, because recently I just went in to buy some fruits and like मेरी shrink हो गई थी, right? Because it was, I think, close to 180, 190 per kilo, and I live in a tier 1 city, right? So basically what I want to just drive from this video is that, you should not suffer. If you're watching this, if you're part of my community, right, you should not suffer. You should be more proactive in your approach. So just some common pointers. I know this would sound cliched, but let's see how it goes. So number one is, of course, if you don't maintain a bloody budget, maintain one, right? Because you want to know where your income which you're earning, you're spending it on, right? Where the hell are you exactly spending it on, right? Is it more frugal expenses? Is it more on partying, clubbing, social gatherings, and those kind of things? They are okay to a certain extent, but not too often, right? Now, since we are entering recession, I think a smart choice would be just budget down your thing, right? So let's say if a person is earning roughly around 50 to 60,000, right? And he's living in a tier 1 city. So along with food expenses and all, that would come close to 18 to 20,000, or at max 25,000, right? So if we take 100% of your income, you should just invest 40% of it on your survival per se, right? Just 40%. For the rest, 50 to 60%. So I'll come to that basically. So now the question comes, like, how much should we save, right? So there's a very fundamental law to this, that जितना आपका एक मंथली एक्सपेंस होता है ना, तो उसको एक्स्ट्रापोलेट करो 6 महीने से 1 साल तक, एंड उतना एक इमरजेंसी फंड बनाओ या कॉर्पस ऑफ योर सेविंग्स, ताकि यू कैन सर्वाइव, राइट? लेट्स से इफ यू आर लेड ऑफ फ्रॉम योर जॉब, you can survive for, let's say, around the next 3 to 5 months when you are in the process of finding a job, and this would not give you mental stress or anxiety. Usually लोगों के साथ क्या होता है कि जैसे ही आता है उनके पास, वो सारे का सारा खर्च देते हैं, या फालतू की मुंहचोदी में फंस जाते हैं कि ठीक है आज ये पार्टी कर ली, वो पार्टी कर ली. Like, genuinely ask yourself, do you need so many bloody parties? Do you need to drink overly priced beer, let's say at 500, 600 rupees, when you can easily get that can in 100, 120, 140 from a common local shop, right? The pleasure is same. It's just that you have to take that concept of sacrifice, right? The third thing is basically, what should we do from that remaining 10%, right? Start investing in long-term assets. By long-term assets, I mean it could be your skills, you're learning something new, or it could be like active investing in the stock market. So it could be usually stocks which are in a position of monopoly, for that matter. So let's say stocks like in the HUL, Amazon, those kind of things, right? Not, I'm not giving a financial advice, I'm just trying to make you think that how you should think about investing, right? Now coming to, I think, the fourth point is basically live far below your means, right? I think this should be obvious, but still it needs to be reminded to certain people, क्योंकि usually क्या होता है ना, हम सोशल ग्रुप में फंसने के चक्कर में बहुत ज्यादा ऐसे डिसीजंस इमोशनली और कंपल्सिवली लेते हैं, राइट? जिसकी वजह से हम एक्सेसिव स्पेंडिंग करते हैं, राइट? सो यू do not need that. Take some sacrifices in your life if you're young, right? You don't need to go to every bloody party and every social gathering. Start taking some hits, man. Like, जो टाइम आप उस पर इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो ना अपने फालतू का सोशल गैदरिंग में, यू कैन इन्वेस्ट दैट टाइम टू मेक सम ब्लडी स्किल्स एंड जस्ट लाइक कैपिटलाइज ऑन those skills, because those skills are what would drive you through this recession. And this recession is not something that would last for, let's say, the next 5 to 6 months, right? It can last up to 2024, 2025. I don't know till when, right? But you need to be proactive about how would you spend your time, and how you would build your calm, and how would you come out of this joyfully. Nahi to, if let's say you go into depression or something, it changes your entire personality, man, right? Which brings me to my next point. So pick up a habit, do it daily, to which helps you to just maintain that calm in your inner mind, right? Because usually क्या होता है for most of us कि जब हमारी बाहर फटती है ना, तो हमारी अंदर भी फटने लग जाती है, right? We lose all our sense of calm. So a better approach here would be just to pick one habit, be it gymming, yoga, any bloody thing, but it should be physical, right? Because that releases endorphins, neurotransmitters, BDNF, dopamine, those kind of things, right? So just pick up some things, right? Build up your calm and do that daily, because if your life is in a routine, right? Even if the outside situations are in a mess, you would not be in a mess, because you are standing on the foundation of routine or order in your life. So that's there. Coming to some last advices. So I might say that you must diversify your investments, right? If you're investing, or if you want to invest, and you should become debt free. Remove all the debts which you own to every other people, right? Just make sure that जो भी ये भांग भोसड़ है ना आपका, दूसरे के डेप्थ्स में फंसे हो, या कुछ भी लोन्स हैं, कुछ भी है, राइट? Just try getting rid of them as quickly as possible, because that would help you to get your calm. Hey, so that is what I wanted to record, and thanks for listening. If you have been listening to this far, I really appreciate your support to my content. I know I've been not being very consistent in this, just because some major problems had come up in my life recently, so I was just going through them one by one, joyfully or unjoyfully. So hopefully I have recorded some podcasts. You'll see a lot of content coming up soon. And cheers, stay awesome. Signing off.